Good morning, everyone. In previous lectures, we have seen about the acids bases, what are the acids, how they act, the bases, what are their nature in the water as well as a product in the reaction. So, what are the activity, what they done with the other in the reaction format. Second, it is we have seen about the hard and soft nature of the acids and bases. And the third point of this, that is the non-aqueous solvent. So aqueous means the water present in it, and non-aqueous means without the water molecule, whatever the solvents are there, how they act and how that matters or that compounds they are dissolved into the solvents. So what are the solvents that you know very well? What is it? The larger quantity of the liquid which dissolves other matters or which dissolves the solute. Okay, that is nothing but the solvent. So non-aqueous solvents, non means nothing, aqueous the water molecule, the solvent. So the solvents which are not having the water, that is the non-aqueous solvent. Let us see one by one how they react and what are the importance in the chemistry. An inorganic non-aqueous solvent is a solvent other than water that is not an organic compound. So why it is not an organic compound? Because it is not having the carbonic material in it or that carbon in it. So without carbon, the solvents are there. They are to be saying that a non-aqueous solvents without water. Now example, which are the example? First of all, liquid ammonia, liquid sulfur dioxide, sulfuryl chloride, sulfuric chloride, fluoride, phosphoryl chloride, dinitrogen tetroxide, antimony trichloride, bromine pentafluoride, hydrogen fluoride, pure sulfuric acid, and the other inorganic acids. So these are without water and the without carbon. So the solvents which are present and which studied in inorganic chemistry, that is nothing but the non-aqueous solvents. Remember the only that about the how that liquid ammonia it acts in our life also. Sulfur dioxide also we use for the preparation of sulfuric acid. Now these solvents are used in a chemical research and the industries for the reactions. So non-aqueous solvents. Now see the screen, the question which is to be asked, it is very simple, that the example which are given, liquid ammonia, liquid sulfuric dioxide, hydrogen fluoride, whether that these three are non-aqueous solvents? Yes, because they are not containing the carbon and they are without water. Therefore these three examples, it means the answer is all are the non-aqueous solvents. Now see how these solvents are to be classified. So these solvents are classified on the basis on, first of all, the presence of proton. Second, it is the polar and the non-polar polar solvents. And the third, it is the aqueous and the non-aqueous solvents. See again, the classification it is based on the proton presence, based on the polar and non-polar quality, and the aqueous and the non-aqueous solvents. Okay, let us see one by one how it is to be worked with it. So the protonic and non-protonic solvent, the solvents from which proton can be derived are called protonic solvents. The solvents, when they are placing for the reaction, they place the proton and therefore they are to be said that what is it? The protonic solvent. Simple example, what is it? Water and the sulfuric acid. The solvents from which protons cannot be derived are called non-protonic solvents. So, which are the examples? Liquid sulfur dioxide, benzene and the chloroform. These are the examples of non-protonic solvents. So, which protons do not, derived in the reaction and which do not derived in the reaction, they are non-protonic solvents. Now, see the screen, that protonic and non-protonic solvent reaction it is to be given when that two molecules of ammonia, it is reacted with themselves. There is the formation of ammonium and the amide ion. Amide it is in an anionic form, whereas the ammonium it is the positive, that is cationic form. Same example of hydrogen fluoride, there is the formation of hydrogen difluoride as well as H2A plus. Third example which is shown on the screen, that is the two H2SO4 molecule when they reacts with each other, there is the formation of H3SO4 and the HSO4 minus. Second, it is acidic or protogenic solvents. So the H2SO4, HCl, CH3COH and the HCN are the acidic and protogenic solvent, and basic or protophilic solvents, they are NHC and the N2H4. Again, another example which is given, aprotic or non-protonic solvent. They are benzene, CHCl3, CCl4 and the sulfur dioxide. The reaction which happens with it, that N2O4, there is the formation of nitrosonium and the nitrate anion, whereas that dichloro antimonium which is to be formed by SbCl4, that is the reaction which is formed, and the tetrachloroantimonate. POCl3, when it reacts, there is a formation of POCl2 plus and POCl4 in anionic form. So these are aprotic, where that proton, it is not to be derived or it is not to be present in it, and therefore they are to be named as a non-protonic or aprotonic solvent. So simple classification which is to be given here, it is protonic and the non-protonic. Second, it is acidic, basic or amphoteric nature of a solvent. So first of all, acidic nature, basic nature and ampho. Ampho means both. Teric means amphoprotic solvents. So they are acting as a acidic as well as the basic. Now let us see again that first of all, acidic solvents, the solvents which have a tendency to donate protons are called acidic in nature and are called acidic solvents. The simple example, hydrogen fluoride and the acetic acid. The solvents which have strong tendency to accept a proton are basic in nature and are called basic or protophilic solvents. The example, it is liquid ammonia or pyridine. Means both are the examples which have strong tendency to accept the proton. And the amphoteric means the solvents which neither have tendency to gain nor to lose protons are called amphoteric or amphoteric or amphoteric solvents. Example, water, C2H5OH, etc. So the acidic solvents are proton donors. Basic solvents are proton acceptor, and the amphoteric means both. Sometimes in the reaction they accept, sometimes they do not accept or they donate the proton. So whether that water molecule, it is acting as a H plus or H gain. So there is the meaning which comes that amphoteric, it is acting as a both. Ionizing and the non-ionizing solvent. Now this is ionizing, there is ion formation. Non-ionizing, they do not form the ion. Simple way. Now the solvents which are capable of undergoing self-ionization, there is the formation of self-ionize. Ionize cations and the anions. So it is also named as auto-ionization, are called ionizing solvent. The example, water, it is H plus plus OH minus. Okay, so that is the ionization. So auto ionization it is to be formed. Now sulfur dioxide, ammonia, these are also auto ionization. So there is these solvents are said that ionizing solvents. The solvents which do not ionize at all, that are called non-ionizing solvent. And the example, it is benzene. Benzene do not ionize itself. Then hydrocarbons, they do not ionize, so they are non-ionizing. These are non-polar in nature. So there is no formation of ions, so there is no formation of a polars also. So non-polar ion solvents. Fourth one, it is coordinating and the no coordinating solvent. Coordinate the solvents which are capable of coordinating with the metal ions or anions of the solute are called coordinating solvents. So for example, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, dimethyl sulfoxide, DMF, that dimethyl formide, etc. These are the examples which are capable of coordinating with the metal ions. On the other hand, the solvents which are not capable of coordinating with the metal ions are absolute, are called non-coordinating solvent. So CCl4, it is not coordinating at all. Saturated hydrocarbons, they are also not coordinating at all with the metals, and therefore these are the non-coordinating solvents. So coordinating solvents and the non-coordinating solvents. Now on the screen, that one question, it is to be very simple. Which of the following are amphoteric solvents? H2SO4, is it? HCl, is it? CHCl3? No, not at all. So water is the amphoteric in solvents. Okay. So why it is? Because H plus plus OH minus ions are there. So simply it acts as an acid as well as the base. Now second question which is to be asked on this one, same. Which of the following are the example of protonic solvent? So proton must be there na in the compound, in that chemical. So HCN is the proper example which is having proton itself, and therefore it is a protonic solvent. CHCl3, it is not protonic solvent. SO2, it is not protonic solvent, and CCl4, that is also not the protonic solvent. Now see that non-aqueous solvents, their physical properties. First of all, melting point and boiling point, dielectric constant, its viscosity, dipole moment, heat of fusion and heat of vaporization. These are the physical properties of these solvents. Now in a glass beakers, the three glass beakers which is to be showing here, that vanadium, chromium and the manganese in a different oxidation state, they are showing that colors, due to what? That they are to be having that the electrons in it which is unpaired. Now the liquid ammonia, always that question it is asked on this ammonia. Liquid ammonia as a non-aqueous solvent. So explain in a brief. So the let us see first of all the what are the physical properties. That freezing point of it, it is 77.7 degrees centigrade. Boiling point 33.38 degrees centigrade. Dielectric constant it is 22 to 33. Liquid range it is 77 to 33 degrees centigrade. Heat of fusion it is the 0.018 kilojoule per mole. Heat of vaporization it is the 23.6. Self ionizable in nature as like a water and acts as an associated solvent. So always it is to be having the tendency to bind. Now why ammonia acts as a better solvent than the water? Now simple, it is having that it is a poor conductor of electricity. Then specific heat of ammonia is greater than the water. Then less viscous than the water. So no loss, that is less loss it is to be there. High critical temperature and pressure. Less associated than the water due to lesser hydrogen bonding, and due to formation of a strong reducing metal ammonia solution with a alkali metal. So these are the reasons why that ammonia it is better solvent than the water. Most of all we have seen about that the water it is that more viscous in nature, and that's what whenever we want to use it, sometimes its property it may be varies. Now the chemical reaction which is formed by acid base reaction, precipitation reaction, redox reaction and the solvation reaction. This type of four type of that reaction which follows the non-aqueous solvents. Now type of the reaction in non-aqueous solvents, mathematical or the precipitation reaction, that is the reaction in which precipitation occurs on mixing two solutions and is called or the precipitation reaction. For example, water, silver nitrate and barium chloride react to give a precipitate of silver chloride, leaving barium nitrate in the solution. So the reaction which is shown here, silver nitrate plus barium chloride, the reaction which is to be formed, and it is forwarded to the formation of a precipitate, silver chloride and the barium nitrate. So this is the precipitation reaction where it is to be formed with the non-aqueous in it. Now the salt formation, the reaction between appropriate acidic and basic substances to form salts are called salt formation reaction. Example, sodium uride cannot be prepared by the action of urea on sodium hydride in water because strong base cannot take proton from urea molecule. Now the reaction which is shown here, same way, which is a sodium uride and the water Na plus plus OH minus, and that there is the formation of NH2CONH2, that is the urea. However, this can be easily formed in liquid ammonia. See, in water what it happens, and in liquid ammonia by the reaction of urea with sodamide, urea plus sodamide, there is a formation of a sodium uride, and therefore that ammonia it is better the solvent. Now third, it is acid base reaction. It can be explained on the basis of solvent system concept. So what is it? An acid is a substance that by direct dissociation or reaction with the solvent gives the cation characteristic of the solvent. Similarly, a base is a substance that gives the anion characteristic of the solvent. Now, see the example which is shown in a chemical nature, that in liquid ammonia solvent, NH4 plus ion acts as an acid and NH2 minus acts as a base. And the neutralization reaction, NH4Cl, that is the salt acid, base NaNH2, there is the formation of NaCl salt and the two liquid ammonia, that is the solvent. Now this is the proper example of the acid base reaction. This is also called as a neutralization reaction. Now fourth, it is solvolytic reaction or solvolysis. The reaction in which the solvent molecules react with the solute in such a way that the solvent molecules split up into two parts, one or both of which get attached to the solute molecule or ion, are called solvolytic reaction. See, water as a solvent, two water molecule, there is the formation of H3O plus OH minus, that is auto ionization. Another SO2Cl2 plus 4H2O, the reaction it is forwarded, it is SO2OH twice plus 2H3O plus 2Cl minus. Third reaction, it is H minus plus H2O, there is the formation of HF plus OH minus. And in ammonia as a solvent, 2 NH3 molecule, there is the formation of NH4 plus NH2 minus. SOCl2 plus 4 NH3, there is the formation of SO2 NH2 twice and 2 NH4 plus 2Cl minus, and H plus NH3, there is the formation of NH2 minus plus H2. So these are to be differentiated, and how it becomes that ammonia becomes a better solvent than the water. Fifth one, it is the solvation reaction. See, solvation, solvent get attached to a solute species, that is cation, anion or molecule, are called solvation reaction. The species forwarded is called solvate. See the example, proper example, copper sulfate plus ammonia, that is 4 molecule of ammonia, there is the formation of ammoniate, copper sulfate ammoniate, the product. Now CuCl2, copper chloride plus 4 water, there is the formation of a hydrate compound, that is the CuH2O4 2 plus 2Cl minus, and barium sulfate plus thrice H2SO4, there is the formation of a solvate which is of a Ba, that is barium SO4 thrice H2SO4. So that is the solvate of sulfuric acid. Now these are the examples of solvation reaction. Now, see the reaction in liquid ammonia. So, which are the reactions they are to be formed in? So, first of all, we will see about the acid-base reaction. Now, the liquid ammonia ionizes as twice NH3 molecule NH4 plus NH2 minus. That is ammonia, which is to be turn itself into the NH4 plus NH2 minus, cation and the anion. For example, KNH2, there is the formation of K plus NH2 minus. Now, pyrolysis reaction, certain compounds like urea, which are incapable of donating protons to water, can readily donate proton to ammonia in liquid ammonia. So, this is the very good point regarding the ammonia molecule. See the reaction which is to be explained on the screen. Second is acid-base neutralization reaction. Now this is also explained about how that ammonia it is to be acted in a neutralization. So neutralization of an acid and base in liquid ammonia involves combination of NH4 ion, that is from acid, and NH2 ion from base. So NH4Cl plus KNH2, there is the formation of KCl plus, that is acid, and 2 NH3, that is a base. NH4 plus NH2 minus, there is the formation of 2 ammonia molecule. Now as an acid, zinc hydroxide plus KOH, there is the formation of K2Zn NH2 and as a base, Zn NH2 twice plus twice NH4Cl, there is the formation of zinc chloride plus ammonia. Third reaction, it is the precipitation reaction. Precipitation reaction involves double combination because of the difference in solubilities. Silver chloride precipitated in aqueous solution as KCl plus silver nitrate, there is the formation of silver chloride plus KNO3, whereas white ppt of barium chloride is produced when silver chloride and liquid ammonia brought together. So the reaction below, it shows that proper the precipitation formation. So 2 silver chloride plus barium nitrate, there is the formation of a barium chloride PPT plus silver nitrate. So this is we worked in our practical laboratory also for the chlorine present reaction. Now the fourth, it is ammonolysis reaction. Now this part, or this ammonolysis reaction, the solvolysis reactions in liquid ammonia are called ammonolysis or ammonolytic reaction. Again I repeat, the solvolysis reaction in liquid ammonia are called ammonolysis or ammonolytic reaction. So there is the presence, there must be present at the ammonia molecule. Now hydrolysis of SiCl4 occurs as SiCl4 plus 4 molecule of water, there is the formation of salicylic acid. In organic halides undergo slow ammonolysis reaction to form amines. So the see that general reaction, Rx plus 2 ammonia, there is the formation of RNH2, that is primary amine, plus NH4X. Now fifth reaction, which gives that idea about the solutions in liquid ammonia. The most striking property of liquid ammonia is its ability to dissolve alkali metals. So this is the best example. The resulting solution are blue and good electrical conductors. When alkali metals are dissolved in liquid ammonia, they ionize to give metal ions and balance electrons as Na plus plus electron minus. So both alkali metal and the electron become solvated by ammonia molecules. Na plus plus ammonia, there is the ammoniated cation forms, and the electrons plus ammonia, there is the ammoniated electron which is formed. So the complete reaction may be written as Na, there is the cation, there is the anion which is to be formed with the sodium. The ammoniated electrons are responsible for blue color of a solution, so which gives that a blue color to the solution. Liquid sulfur dioxide, this is the another non-aqueous solvent. It is a non-protonic solvent or aprotic solvent because it does not contain any hydrogen atom. It is also one of the important non-aqueous solvent and widely used in industry. Physical properties, liquid sulfur dioxide freezing point, it is minus 75.46, boiling point it is minus 10.2 degrees centigrade, dielectric constant it is 17.40. And the reactions, let us see one by one again as like ammonia. Acid base reaction, liquid sulfur dioxide undergoes auto ionization as like ammonia. So 2 sulfur dioxide, there is the auto reaction which forms in between them and the formation of SO2 2 plus, SO2 plus plus SO3 2 minus. Acid base or non or neutralization reaction in liquid sulfur dioxide may be given as SOCl2 plus CS2SO3, but that is base. There is the formation of 2 molecules of CsCl plus 2SO2. Second reaction, it is solvolytic reaction. Solvolytic reaction in liquid sulfur dioxide are not so common as they are in other solvents such as ammonia. Certain covalent halides such as PCl5, PBr5, WCl6 undergo solvolysis in liquid sulfur dioxide in a sealed tubes. So the sealed tubes, there is the formation of PCl5 plus liquid sulfur dioxide. There is the formation of POCl3 plus SOCl2. Third reaction, it is precipitation reaction. In precipitation of several insoluble compounds in liquid sulfur dioxide can be carried out by treating with soluble compound in sulfur dioxide. So SbCl3 plus thrice lithium iodide, there is the formation of SbI3 which is precipitation in the format, and 3 LiCl molecule. Now the redox reaction, that is reduction which is carried along with the oxidation, that is the redox reaction. Liquid sulfur dioxide does show any marked reducing or oxidizing property. It simply acts as a medium for certain redox reaction. The example which is given on the screen. See, 6 molecule of Ki plus 3 molecule of SbCl5. There is the formation of 3 K3 SbCl6 plus SbCl3 plus 3 I2. So the iodine molecule which is liberated. Thank you very much, dear students. This is about the liquid sulfur dioxide and the liquid ammonia, the reactions. In examination, they are asking about why these are non-aqueous solvents are very important in industries. What are the importance, their physical properties and their reactions. So go through the proper reaction, the presentation, understand each term. Non-aqueous, aqueous, protonic, aprotonic, ionizable, non-ionizable, amphoteric in nature. That's it. Now write the terms on your notebook. Send me its photocopy by email given below. Again, smitagiri2012@gmail.com. Take care. It's COVID period. Be safe and study regular. All the best. Thank you.